To take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. Their manager, Mike Soshin. And on the other side, Minnesota skipper Ron Gardenhire. Let's take a look at Minnesota's starting lineup tonight. Jock Jones in left field. Christian Guzman, the shortstop. Corey Koski struck out 4 times here last night at third base. David Ortiz at DH. Torrey Hunter in center. Doug Mientkiewicz is at first. The latter third of Dustin Moore. He had 2 hits in the start last night. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate. Luis Rivas, the second baseman. And on the mound for Anaheim, the rookie right-hander wasn't brought up till the end of June. Still won 9 games. John Lackey.
Lackey, a big kid, is a guy who's got to control his emotions a little bit. Pitches off his fastball, which means he establishes that fastball early and then tries to pitch the breaking balls off of that. Not afraid to go inside, especially on these left-handed hitters that the Twins have.
Take a look at Anaheim defensively behind Lackey. Garrett Anderson, Darren Erstad, Tim Salmon left, center, and right. Gloss and Eckstein on the left side. Adam Kennedy to start at second base. Scott Spezio has been terrific all year long at first. A battery of Lackey and Benji Molina. I'd like to remind you, our broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. First pitch, ball 1 to Jock Jones, and we are underway. Jones got his first hit of the series in the 7th inning to tie the game last night. Lifts a fly ball into right field, easy for Tim Salmon, and Jones retired, now 1 of 14 in the league championship series. Ron Gardenhire told us before the game he was not happy with Jock Jones, was not happy with Corey Koski.
Oh, he just said these guys have had such an aggressive reputation coming into this series. He said that's what got us here. Go to Hackett. Go up there swinging the bats. We looked so tentative at the plate. He got a little emotional about it. Right after that, Jock Jones went up there and banged one off the left field wall. Of course, he thought it was a home run. Still made it to second base, though, so that's okay.
And they're banging those thunder sticks right from the get-go here in Anaheim tonight. Big overhand breaking ball drops in there. Strike 1 to Christian Guzman. 3 of 11 in the series. 9 hits and 32 at-bats during the playoffs. Larry Young calling the balls and strikes tonight. Dana DeMuth at first. Ed Rapuano at second. Eddie Montague, the crew chief, at third. Mike Everett works down the left field line. Brian Gorman, last night's home plate umpire, down the right field line. 2-1 to Guzman. Lackey, 23 years young, from Abilene, Texas. Anaheim's second-round pick back in 1999 out of Grayson County College in Denison, Texas, where his school won the Junior College National Championship. On the ground, Eckstein. For Lackey, this is his first start during the playoffs. In Game 3 against the Yankees, when Ramon Ortiz struggled mightily, Lackey came on in relief. Allowed a base hit, scoring a couple of inherited runners when the Angels fell behind 6-1. But then was terrific over the next 2 innings, shutting down the Yankees, and the Angels came back to win that game 9-6.
Kind of ironic that he came in because Ramon Ortiz was a little bit too emotional, and that's the knock on Lackey. And he gets a little bit too emotional, can't control those emotions, and then starts leaving balls out over the plate. No sign of any of John Lackey being flustered right now.
0-1 to Corey Koski, and it's off the outside edge. A ball and a strike.
That's paint right there. Lackey's going to want that pitch later on.
Koski 3 of 11 during the series. 2 runs batted in, but has struck out 5 times. Big swing and a miss there. And in 32 postseason at-bats, Koski has struck out 11 times.
Oh, he's a much better hitter than that. Going through a little slump. Not making contact. Got the golden sombrero last night. And I don't know what 5 in a row is. Just not good.
He has struck out now in 6 straight plate appearances. Take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting lineup for his Anaheim Angels, winners of 99 games during the regular season. David Eckstein at short, Darren Erstad in center, Tim Salmon in right. A breakout night for Garrett Anderson in left field. Troy Glaus, a game-winning home run at third. Brad Fulmer, the DH. Latter third of Scott Spezio, the first baseman. Benji Molina catching, and Adam Kennedy is at second. And on the mound, the longtime ace of the Twins, right-hander Brad Radke.
Well, he's seen the good and the bad with this organization. This Twins organization in the playoffs here, down 2-1. That's the guy you want to send to the mound. One of the best changeups in all of baseball, let alone the American League. Great mound presence. The guy knows what he's doing out there, knows what he's trying to do. Lots of fastballs away, but he will cut that fastball in on the hands of the left-handers.
Radke making his third postseason start. He pitched game 1 in Oakland. Was the winner in that 7-5 Twins victory. That's when they committed 3 fielding errors in the first couple of innings, falling into a 5-1 hole. And then Radke did not allow a run. 3 hits over the next 3 innings when Minnesota routed. And then he was fabulous in game 5. Strike 1 to David Eckstein. He was a winner in that game 5. Allowed a solo home run by Ray Durham in the 3rd inning. Allowed only 1 other runner past first base through 6 2/3 innings. 0-2 to Eckstein. David 4 of 13 in the series with a run batted in. Jared Washburn sensational here last night, as was Eric Milton from Minnesota. Neither starter figuring in the decision. Francisco Rodriguez went to 3-0 in the playoffs, getting the win. Check swing, he didn't go around. Rodriguez only the 6th reliever in the major league since '74 to post 3 wins in a postseason.
And the only guy to have his first 3 wins in the postseason.
Eckstein gone, swinging, 1 away. Let's take a look at Minnesota defensively, the best defensive team in the major leagues this season. Jock Jones, Torrey Hunter, Dustin Moore, left, center, and right. Corey Koski, Christian Guzman, Luis Rivas, and Doug Mientkiewicz, third to first. Brad Radke and A.J. Pierzynski, the battery.
Brad Radke is a lot like Rick Reed, with maybe a little bit better life on the balls he throws up there, a better breaking ball, a little more jump on his fastball. And that's why Gardenhire will not use those guys back to back. Stuck Eric Milton in between them. Doesn't want to give the Angels a good look at 2 similar pitches on consecutive nights.
Radke has won 102 games in his big league career. He ranks in the top 5 in just about every major pitching category in Twins franchise history. Up and into Darren Erstad. And he has worn out Anaheim. 18 career starts, 11-4 the record, an ERA of under 2, and even better than that here in Anaheim.
Oh, you look at the numbers that he has put up over his 8 seasons in Minnesota. They look even better because we're talking about a Minnesota organization that spent a lot of time rebuilding with these young players. They were flat out, by their own admission, a very bad ball club for a number of years. And you see the numbers that Radke was able to put up during that period of time, makes it that much better.
1-2 to Erstad, who has 12 hits during this postseason. That's more hits than any other player in either league. Struck him out swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Radke to begin the game.
All right, this is much less a great pitch by Radke, but just a bad hack by Erstad. He's got no business hacking at that one, and he knows it. That ball down and a foot out of the strike zone. Erstad's been struggling, trying to stay back, and he does a much better job of staying back right there. He just decided to swing at a bad pitch.
Now Tim Salmon hitless in the series so far, although he had a couple of hits taken away last night, especially his first time up.
This launches a bullet to right center field. Torrey Hunter showing why he's one of the best in the game. And then Jock Jones robbing him a little bit later on a bullet to left.
Check swing and a foul ball back. 1-1 is Salmon. The Anaheim number 3 and 4 hitters during this series so far. Combined 2 for 23. But one of those two, a big one last night from Garrett Anderson, who homered, leading off the Anaheim second inning.
Overall in that lineup, they've only scored 9 runs in 3 games. They're winning 2-1 in a series, though.
Rounded down to Koski. And the former hockey goalie growing up in Canada picks it up, throws him out. We go to the second, no score. Set to go, top half of the second inning, no score. Each team set down in order in the opening frame, and John Lackey going to work against David Ortiz, a designated hitter, ball 1. Ortiz 2 hits without a run batted in so far during the league championship series, after knocking in a pair of runs in a series against Oakland. Check swing and a miss. That's a wicked breaking ball early on by John Lackey.
He is really snapping off the breaking ball right here. Throws more of a slurve to the left-handed hitters, which is kind of the combination of a slider and a curveball. A little bit bigger break, throwing a little bit harder than a curveball. To the right-handers, he'll throw a little bit more of a tighter slider. Throws it harder, breaks less. Look at the left-handers. They don't swing the bats too well against John Lackey. That's why.
Check swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts. As Lackey's retired the first 4 alongside Steve Lyons. I'm Tom Brenneman. Great to have you with us. What a great series it's been so far, including last night. I know you believe Minnesota's going to tie this thing up 2 games apiece. They have the right guy on the mound tonight in Radke.
Absolutely. This is the guy that has gone through their lean years. He's the guy that needs to go out there and step up for them. But offensively, they have to do it as well. Gardenhire got on some of their guys and said, go out there and swing the bats a little bit better. He's an emotional manager, and these are a bunch of aggressive kids, and they haven't been that way to his liking in this series.
Torrey Hunter takes ball 1 high. Hunter 3 of 10 in the series. A couple of doubles without a run batted in. And there's strike 1-1. Meanwhile, for Anaheim, it's remarkable the way they played during that division series against the Yankees compared to the way they have played, the style of play, the way they've gone about winning games in this league championship series. 1-2 to Hunter.
Well, an example of the Houston Astros this year was early in the year. If they scored 8 runs, they'd give up 9. If they scored 3 runs, they'd give up 4. If they had a good game, the other team was better.
Popped up right side, easy for Spezio.
In the series against the Yankees, they knocked the cover off the ball, but they also gave up a lot of runs, and it worked out for them. In this series, they're hitting .212. They've only scored 9 runs, but in the all-important win category, they've got 2, and the Twins only have 1. And they have been outstanding on the mound.
5 in a row set down by Lackey to start the game, and now it's Mientkiewicz. 3 of 11 in the series with a couple of runs batted in.
Mientkiewicz really does adhere to what he told us in the first game of this series, how he uses his first at-bat to try to see every pitch that John Lackey will throw him. Because it's not very important, my first at-bat, unless there are guys to drive in. Because the hit I get in the second inning isn't going to be as important as the hit I get in the 7th or 8th when there are guys on, if I haven't seen everything that he's got. Boy, what I like about this Twins team is that for a young club, they have a lot of old school guys. Derzinski, Mientkiewicz, no bat and gloves, dirty helmet. Down in the dirt kind of players. Borrowed his batting helmet from Craig Biggio, I think.
2-1. Good breaking ball by Lackey. Man, does he have it working early here tonight.
This is a lot better than advertised, the breaking ball that he's throwing. That's a big 12-6 downer. Watch the rotation, spinning right over the top. So tough to pick out a spot and hit that thing.
2-2 to Minkavich.
Nice late movement on that sinker away, too. That's a ball, but that's a filthy pitch, and it's exactly where he wanted to throw it.
On the ground, gobbled up by Kennedy. And a good start for Lackey. 6 up, 6 down. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Kia and the all-new Sorrento SUV Kia. Make every mile count. By your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by WebMD, the place America comes for health care answers. Garrett Anderson to lead things off here in the Anaheim second inning of a scoreless game against Brad Radke. Anderson hitless in the first 2 games of this series, but then had 2 hits last night. He got it done offensively and with a glove. Bounces the first one foul behind him, leading off the second inning. The bat.
How easy was that swing? So tough for a left-handed hitter to get on top of a high pitch and then doing it with the glove. They say he never dives for balls. Guess what? He does when he has to. Boy, the more you hear about Garrett Anderson, too, the more you hear about him being an outstanding defensive left fielder, and nobody gives him any credit for it. Positions himself very well.
It's amazing how infrequently you hear his name discussed. He made his first All-Star team this year, backhanded by Guzman. And a perfect throw to Minkavich sets down Anderson. I mean, you're talking about a guy who 3 straight years now has knocked in more than 100 runs, had 88 extra base hits. This year, there aren't that many players in the game better than Garrett Anderson.
It's a franchise record with the extra base hits for Anderson, and he is just Mr. Consistency. Just gets it done year in, year out. Swings a 35-ounce bat, and he told me earlier in this series, he said, I have enough confidence where I believe that 98% of the pitchers in this league cannot throw their fastball by me. There's a few guys out there, Clemens, a few guys. He says, for the most part, I'm going to catch up with your fastball.
Troy Glaus caught up with a fastball last night on a 3-1 pitch from J.C. Romero. Proved to be the game winner in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's a pretty sound.
Unless you're a Minnesota fan. Then you heard that sound in nightmares all night long. Four postseason home runs for Troy Glaus. That's the second most in postseason history, behind Ken Griffey Jr.'s 5 with Seattle back in that magical 1995 year for the Mariners. Popped up, short center. Hunter coming on, 2 away.
Yeah, you look at that graphic and you see the 4 home runs. 3 of the 4 homers were doing it when the damage needed to be done. 3 of 4 hit in the 8th inning of games. There it is again, the 4 homers that he's had in the postseason. All we read about and all we've been hearing about with Troy Glaus is hit the ball the other way, hit the ball the other way. And sure, he is going to be a tremendous talent. He's still only 26 years old. When he learns to use the entire field, when he understands that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark the other way like he did last night. But I don't have a problem with them dumping one into their bullpen in left center field either.
Neither does Mike Scioscia, taking up and in to Brad Fulmer. Fulmer started the first 2 games of this series. 3 hits, 6 at bats, including a home run, a double, and 2 knocked in. Both pitchers very sharp early on tonight. And by and large, the starting pitching in this series has been terrific. Reed had some poor defense behind him. He'd be the first to tell you he did not pitch well in game 2. But you go back to game 1, great outing by Joe Mays. 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 unearned run. Apier threw the ball well for Anaheim in that start. Ramon Ortiz, a good solid outing against Reed, and then Washburn and Milton here last night. 2-1.
Pitching in this series has been lights out. Generally think of offensive ball games. The most fun part of this game is dragging your bat to the plate. Hasn't been that much fun for a lot of hitters in this series.
Well, that went off his foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, you said it earlier, but it just goes to show you how good the pitching has been. Anaheim leading this series 2 games to 1, hitting .212 in the series.
Scored 9 runs in 3 games, 6 of them in 1. Rick Anderson checking out his pitcher there, Radke.
Boy, Anderson has done a great job with this Minnesota staff. You've had guys that have had to change roles. Guys like LaTroy Hawkins, who went from the closer, and there are a lot of guys that wouldn't be happy about them moving down the ladder, if you will, and becoming a setup man. All the youngsters with Santana and Romero, guys that have been injured, Milton and Mays, Radke this year missed nearly 3 full months. Foul tipped into the middle of Pierzynski, and that'll end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Brad Radke. We go to the 3rd. No score. Yes, coming up a little bit later on in our broadcast tonight of Game 4 of this American League Championship Series. Steve Lyons going to bring all of you around the country up to date on some of the ballpark etiquette here in Anaheim. The Thunder Sticks and the Rally Monkey. Strike 1 to Dustin Moore.
That Rally Monkey looked like he was having a good time.
Talking about that guy that way, that pitch taken inside. I mean, are you talking about him or
look, the Rally Monkey's hanging on,
hat?
Going for a ride. He's checking out the game. He's got a good view. That guy's never going to get a date that way, I'll tell you that much.
1-2 to Moore.
It's like, well, hey, there you go.
Well, that's a good look.
Not sure exactly what that's. Not a Rally Monkey.
It's a Rally Gorilla. 2-2.
Little beehive. Look like Wilma from the Flintstones. Boy, they're out in force tonight.
Moore got the start in last night's game. Had 2 hits, stole a base, scored a run. Fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ron Gardner was telling us before last night's game he had a good feeling about giving Moore a chance. Former All-American out of the University of Alabama.
Said he sat around and watched long enough. It's time for him to jump up there and do some damage. Had a weird night last night. Ran the bases great. Slid terribly. Had a bad slide into second base in which he was safe. Bad slide into home. Looked like his body took a bad hop at one point.
2-2. Broken bat flare. It'll fall into left center field, a base hit. So a start and an at bat in a second start, and 3 hits for Dustin Moore. We had a chance to catch up with A.J. Pierzynski and get his thoughts about a tough loss here in Game 3 last night.
We have to put it behind us. Like, it was a great game. Both sides played really well. It was a great pitching matchup, just what everyone expected. And you have to find a way to put it behind you and come out and play another good game tonight. We have Brad, our guy, on the mound, and against Lackey, a guy who's done very well for Anaheim. So it's going to be another pitching matchup, and we have to find some way to score some runs.
Pierzynski takes just off the inside corner. AJ 1 of 10 in the series with a run batted in. Like many of the Minnesota hitters, slow to get started in this league championship series. AJ with 4 runs batted in, had the big home run in Game 5 against Oakland to win the division series.
Now, the more you see of him, the more you like him. Fiery personality. He's in the game. He's the team leader.
Moore, pretty good lead over there. And a bouncing ball to second. This could be 2. Bobble, and they still get the out at second base. Kennedy had 2 on his mind. Still was able to cut down the lead runner. Good recovery there by Adam Kennedy.
Kennedy makes a smart play right here. After he bobbles it, he knows that Moore was stopping in case he had to make a tag play. So he knew he still had time to get the out at second. You see Moore stopping because he doesn't want to run into the out. He wants to make Kennedy make a play on him. Either go to second or tag him and then go to first. Good base running by Moore. Nice recovery by Adam Kennedy to get the force at second. Ask Adam about that play, though. He just soon had the double play.
Now Luis Rivas. 2 hits and 8 at bats so far in the league championship series. Runner goes. Throw by Molina. Not even close. That had to be a botched hit and run the way Pierzynski reacted out there at second base.
Pierzynski's not going to be stealing a lot of bases. This is no question someone missed a sign right here. You can see Pierzynski looking in the entire time, looking for someone to swing the bat. He's dead meat at second base. No chance of stealing the base. One of them missed the sign.
1-1 to Rivas. Boy, Lackey almost reminds you the way he stares in to get the sign. A little bit of Kevin Brown.
John Wetland.
Fastball up, 3-1.
Talked to AJ after game 2. He says, my dad's a little bit mad at you. He said you kind of got on me. He said I was a dirty player in this game. Been hearing stories lately. The magazine article that was written about him that was really buried him. Made his teammates look like they hated him. It's not the way it is in that clubhouse.
Ripped into left center field. A base hit by Rivas. Anderson over to cut it off. And he'll hold Luis to a 2-out single.
I know Pierzynski and the rest of the Twins were very upset about the tone of that article. A lot of the guys were joking with the writer, saying, oh yeah, he's a jerk, we all hate him. They were all laughing about it, but the way the article was written was scathing. AJ was upset about it, and then after his big home run against the A's, Billy Koch came out, called him a jerk. Nobody's really sure about what's going on there, but I think you and I both said it yesterday. We'll say it again. I take that guy on my team all day long.
All day, every day. Now Jock Jones, who flied out to right leading off the game. He thought he hit that ball out of the ballpark here last night.
Yeah, that's the home run trot right there. Anderson going back and oops, hits off the wall. Didn't quite get enough of it. Good thing Jock Jones has the extra speed, and there's that slide I was talking about on Dustin Moore. Yeah, darn right it hurts when you do that. He's got strawberries on parts of his body he didn't know he was supposed to slide with.
Line right at Spezio, and that'll let the inning. Good pitch in on Jones' hands, got jammed with it. 2 hits, 1 left, middle of the third. Still no score. Bottom of the third inning we go. No score. Game 4, the American League Championship Series. Anaheim leading this set 2-1. Brad Radke has retired the first 6 Anaheim hitters of the game. Spezio, Molina, and Kennedy in the Angel third. Ball one high. Well, as promised, Steve Lyons going to, what they call it as a kid, show and tell.
Show you how to be a tremendous Anaheim Angel fan.
Cue shot foul, 1-1. All right, you found the Thunder Sticks, right?
That's right. You can't be a true fan here in Anaheim unless you have the Thunder Sticks. A lot of people probably have seen these on TV. You're not sure what they are, but they're like little balloons, really. Make a lot of noise when you bang them together. This is the correct use. This is the incorrect use, but a lot of people are doing it that way too.
That's what some of the wives downstairs do to their husbands.
You see a lot of guys getting whacked down there. Makes a lot of noise when everybody does it together, though. That's why Mitkevich said, you know, this place is like playing in a library compared to the Dome, but I would like to have a pin to pop a few of those things.
Fly ball into short left center field. Guzman will drift back and make the grab. One away. All right, so that's just the first part of the story. The leading act, the Rally Monkey.
Look at him go!
The Rally Monkey, there are rules if you are to believe in the power of the Rally Monkey.
That's right. Look at him go. Birthplace right here at Edison Field. Throws, he's a switch thrower. Swings trees. Of course, his favorite band is the Monkey. There are the Monkeys. There are a few of them there on display.
That one popped up over near.
Watch it! Watch it! Watch it!
Just out of the reach of Mitkevich. Right now, we were talking about the Rally Monkey etiquette. You must sit still. The Rally Monkey must. When the Angels are pitching.
They don't want to rally for the wrong team.
Only shows up after the 7th inning. And at least one Angel batter must reach base before the monkeying around commences.
Which is amazing. I don't know what that is. When you think of the phenomenon of the Rally Monkey, he only comes out if they're losing.
Popped up. Right side of the infield. This one will be playable for the second baseman Rivas. 2 away in the inning.
I mean, for this to be this big a deal, the Rally Monkey has just swept these Anaheim fans. And look at him go. I love him.
It's actually an endangered species. And really the sale of all these Rally Monkeys, and you went out and bought one for your daughter, and you have one up here in the booth. And all the proceeds go to Wild Beasts as a program by the Zoological Society of San Diego, promoting worldwide conservation and supporting efforts to protect the survival of animals in captivity and those that are on the endangered list.
Unlike those 2 wild beasts that we just saw there.
Right. But you have one right here in the booth.
That's right. It's an excellent cause, and they are selling a ton of them. Yep. You know, they shouldn't show pictures of me like that. You know, here it is. Great cause. Swing them around. But it is amazing to me how big it's become when you think about the fact that if the Angels are winning a game 6-0 in the 8th inning, this guy isn't showing up.
Right.
Now they do have 43 come from behind wins this year, and you know that's due 100% due to the Rally Monkey himself.
Last night was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. They just got the biggest kick out of it. They put up on the scoreboard, make noise, and he will come. And all of a sudden this place erupted, and then the Rally Monkey is jumping up and down on that table. And it was just
that monkey wants a kiss.
Yeah. Well, then that's a smart monkey. On the ground, that'll end the inning. All right, so the bottom of the 3rd, a lot of monkeying around. And that thing is awesome. It's awesome. Don't let anybody tell you different. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Minnesota bats top half of the 4th inning. And a couple of Twins rooting for the Angels.
Were they dressed alike? That stops after like the 6th grade, doesn't it?
Apparently not. John Lackey going to work on Christian Guzman, who grounded out to the shortstop in the opening inning.
Hey, John Travolta. Vinny Barbarino's here.
Michael Eisner wearing the Angels cap, the chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company, the owner of this Angels ball club. Tap to the right side, one away in the inning. And Governor Gray Davis of California. All the stars show up.
They're in the playoffs.
To get on that bandwagon.
That's right. We used to call those guys front runners.
A little flare into short center and out there to get it Epstein. So Ron Gardner telling Corey Koskie, get up there and swing that bat. Struck out his first time up, pops out this time. Well, what did you decide? What is the most memorable moment in Major League Baseball history? Watch Game 4 of the World Series right here on Fox to find out. The most memorable moments are presented by MasterCard. Don't miss it.
Corey Koskie can't buy one. He was happy to put it in play, though, after 6 straight strikeouts spanning 3 games.
Koskie now 3 of 13 in the series. Minnesota, it goes without saying, they have got to start getting some production from the middle of that order. Since about the midway point of Game 2 has gone stone cold. Koskie, Ortiz, and for that matter Hunter. Hunter a good batting average so far in the series, but with no one getting on in front of him, he is yet to knock in a run.
Nice changeup, just floated it up there.
Oh, 2 on David Ortiz. Struck him out to end the inning. 3 in the game for Lackey. Middle of the board, still no score. October's magical matchups continue tomorrow following exciting NFL action. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Game 5 of this series, the Twins and the Angels in at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 out west. Game 4 of the National League Championship Series, the Cardinals and the Giants. All part of a full weekend of magical matchups. The NFL baseball playoff action right here on Fox. Cardinals getting their first win of that National League Championship Series over the Giants today. 5-4. Barry Bonds hit a 3-run home run in that game for San Francisco. John Lackey, 4 innings, 2 hits. Brad Radke, 9 batters, 9 outs. Eckstein shoots it into right field, a base hit. Well, the way Radke's throwing the ball early on here tonight, don't be surprised if Mike Scioscia tries to make something happen.
This is tremendous hitting. You hit the ball the other way by letting the ball get deep into the strike zone and then shooting it the other way, driving it over there, not just flipping it. Eckstein, good job on a tight slider away, stays with it, drills it into right. Beautiful hitting. Kid can play.
Eckstein only 1 stolen base attempt through the entire postseason after stealing 21 in 34 attempts during the regular year. There he goes. And it's in the air down the left field line. Jock Jones, a long run to foul ground, and he's got it. While we have a moment, let's send it back to Jeannie Salasco at our Fox Network Center.
And the Cardinals' entire season qualified as an emotional comeback. Today's rally by the Bay was inspired by Cannon Kyle, the son of the late Darryl Kyle. He was the secret inspirational weapon in the dugout, and it worked. The Cardinals are on the board. Look to even the series tomorrow night on Fox, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. But, of course, first, it's the Angels and Twins, Game 5.
Jeannie, thank you very much. A warm moment indeed there at Pac Bell Park today.
Darryl Kyle's widow, Flynn, told her son to remind the Cardinals what his father would be thinking in this situation.
Now Salmon. 0 for his last 11. And 0 for 9 in this series. Strike one from Brad Radke.
In Erstad's at bat, Eckstein was on the run, but I don't believe that was a hit and run. I believe it was more of a run and hit. Eckstein trying to steal the base. Erstad, if he gets a good pitch to hit, go to Hackett.
Radke pulling the string on Salmon there to get ahead 0-2. Salmon had a monster division series against the Yankees, still in search of his first hit in this series. He had to leave game 2, you may remember, with an injured hamstring. We wondered whether or not he would play last night. He did. Hit the ball sharply a couple of times, but loud outs.
That was the fishtail for the Kingfish.
Just off the corner. Radke limited to 21 games this season because of a strained right groin, which occurred in mid-May. Trying to come back. In fact, he came back his first start against Anaheim, had to leave the game early, and wound up on the DL until August. And you see throwing nothing but strikes here early on tonight. He closed the season very strong in September, a 3-1 record with an ERA of under 3.5, and has been rock solid for Minnesota here in the postseason.
Generally a good count to run on. That's why Radke's paying a little bit more attention. Ron Gardenhire told us that he doesn't like to pitch out very often. We did see a pitch out in game 1. That was a mistake. It was an inadvertent sign given by Steve Little, one of the bench coaches. Time Eckstein, I wait for the 2-2 count to run on. If you get there.
Up. Short right center, who wants it? Rivas backpedaling, and Moore coming in, crashes into Rivas from behind. Rivas hung onto the ball. Well, you could see that coming a mile away. Dustin Moore, head down, just running as hard as he could. And then blindsided Rivas in right center, and it looks like everybody's okay. Thankfully so.
Rivas definitely okay. Moore took the worst end of this hit. Here he comes out of nowhere. Banged hips together there. We talked about all the noise in the Metrodome. A ton of noise in this ballpark too. You cannot hear. You have to rely on some visual communication. That's one of the toughest plays in the game between the outfielder and the infielder. You don't see Moore calling it right there. He probably was calling it a few steps before he got there, but Rivas couldn't hear him. Rivas should be throwing his hands in the air right now saying, I got it, I got it, I got it, to get more out of there. Neither one of them gave any type of visual call that they had it.
Similar like play ended the hopes of the defending world champion Arizona Diamondbacks, you may remember, in the final week of the season, when Luis Gonzalez, their all-star left fielder, collided with shortstop Tony Womack. Gonzalez injured his shoulder and was finished for the year. Garrett Anderson takes ball 1 away.
Certainly took a little wind out of the defending champion's sails. Many people would say that the injury to Craig Counsell was equally as big with the neck surgery. The spark on that ball club was Counsell.
On the ground to Guzman. Looked at second. He'll go to first. That's the second time in this series that Rivas has not gotten to the bag. The other time it happened, you remember, it went through Guzman's legs back after a message from your local Fox station. Top half of the 5th inning, no score, game 4, this American League Championship Series. Wins with 2 hits. Anaheim 1 hit. And Rivas appears to be okay after that collision in short right center field with his right fielder Dustin Moore. Jerry White kind enough to wear a microphone for us tonight. Jerry down in the first base coach's box. Works with the base runners and the outfielders on their defensive play under Ron Gardenhire. And we'll listen into his conversation down in the dugout after that play occurred a moment ago. Grounded foul by Hunter, 1-2.
Communication when you can't hear is very important to be able to do something with your body language. The outfielders can generally see each other. The toughest play is when an outfielder and an infielder are involved like that play where they both can't see each other.
Tap to the right side. The pitcher will have to cover. Good catch by Lackey, who's an outstanding athlete. More on that in a minute. Our Fox sounds of the game with Jerry White.
You just can't see, the crowd noise and everything, you can't hear him.
He's just got to do a better job with his body language as far as going back. That's all.
Well, I don't even know if he ever had it.
You guys all right? You playing cornerback out there?
No, I was calling for it. I wasn't looking at him. I told him in that situation, like with the crowd like this, J-Dub, if we see an infielder camp, you got to let him have it. You know what I'm saying? They can't. I'm not looking at him.
Well, the thing is, Louis going back like he's having trouble.
I know, but then he waved him off. You know what I'm saying?
Great stuff down in that Minnesota dugout.
Chuck Jones there defending Dustin Moore, saying that if Rivas is going to come out and if he's camped under it, he's got to wave us off. We can't tell if he's going to catch the ball. Get your hands up in the air and say, I got it.
And again, it's certainly a blessing that everybody is okay, because it is a kind of play that can change an entire series. The hopes, the dreams of a team trying to get to the World Series.
Can change a career. The way those two guys banged into each other. That's what Jones said to Moore. What are you playing, cornerback?
Benkiewicz bounced out to second his first time up. And Lackey deals a 2-0 pitch on the outside edge of strike.
One more time. Scary.
Two-1 to Benkiewicz. And a roller to the shortstop, Eckstein. Neither team making very good contact against Lackey or Radke here tonight.
Number 17, outfielder Dustin.
We have seen some kind of control, ball placement, ball management, if you will, within the strike zone from the starting pitchers and the relievers of both ball clubs.
Dustin Moore single to left center field, his first time up. First pitch, Hacken fouls it off the catcher, Benji Molina. And Benji down. Well, there's one man in the ballpark can relate to that. It's Mike Scioscia, his manager.
Most thankless job in the game, being a catcher. Fouled straight back off the left shoulder. Little bit of padding on the chest protector up in there, but not a lot. You'll see where it is, and got just underneath that padding.
Ooh.
The things that people don't remember is the fact that they're going to send Benji Molina up there a little bit later on in the game and have to swing the bat. Those guys, as A.J. Pierzynski did last night, got abused with all the balls down in the dirt that he had to block. Did a tremendous job. Look at Molina still hurting.
Check swing roller foul. 0-2 on Moore.
Catcher, you're blocking balls, you're taking foul tips off your legs, off your arms, off your fingers, off your wrists, and then like the other 9 guys in the lineup, you have to go up and swing the bat.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, sir, says Dana Dubuque. 4 strikeouts for Lackey, a perfect fifth. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Still a scoreless game. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Energizer, do you have the bunny inside? And by Viagra. Step up to the plate and ask your doctor if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
Step up to the plate, period, baby. That's what Troy Glaus is going to do right now. Step up to the plate.
Troy Glaus will begin things in the Anaheim fifth in this scoreless game. No runs, 2 hits for Minnesota. No runs, 1 hit for the Angels against Brad Radke. The 29-year-old makes his home in Largo, Florida. Ball 1 to Glaus, who popped up to short center field his first time up.
I know a lot of people questioned Brad Radke when he re-signed with the Minnesota organization, took a big deal with them, extension, when a lot of people in other organizations wanted him. Thought if he tested the free agent market, he'd get a chance to go play with an organization that was going to win. I think some people at that point questioned his desire to win. And I don't think anyone thought that they'd be in this position this quickly afterwards. He knew.
2-0. Fastball strike taken by Glaus right down the gut. Well, their general manager Terry Ryan took over back in 1994, and he is largely responsible for the Twins ball club that has been put together. By and large, they have drafted their own players. Here you get a look at Terry Ryan, the general manager. They've done a fabulous job scouting, signing players, developing players, and getting them to the major leagues. And not all of them are first and second round draft choices. Yes, there are some of those. But you look around at some of the others on this Minnesota team. And Cavich, 5th round. Pierzynski came in the 3rd round. Corey Koski in the 26th round. Little flare caught by Rivas.
Now they're hammering Glaus to try to go the other way. Every one of his hits in this series is the other way. Working him away with the breaking ball. Working him away with the breaking ball. Fastball away. Changeup away. Fastball away. A little number off the end of the bat. Rivas went and got it. Glaus told me before the game, I don't mind going the other way. And I'll tell you what, if they start throwing those hard sinkers down and in again, it's not going to be doing me a whole lot of good going the other way.
Brad Fulmer struck out his first time up. No score, bottom of the 5th inning.
Careful with this guy. Brad Fulmer hit a homer in game 2. Had a 30 home run season with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hopes to get back into that area. He said, right now I'm not getting that many at bats in order to get to 30 homers. But he is looking dead red, middle in.
He got dead red, middle in. Did he get enough? More in front of the wall with room to away. And Radke, a big sigh of relief. Take a look at our Chevy Trucks in-game box score for Anaheim. 1 lone hit. That was by Eckstein, leading off the 4th inning. Fulmer just missed it.
Yeah, he did. He is sitting all over. He wants a ball right in this area. That's what he got. Maybe a little bit up. And he's blowing on it right now, trying to push it out of the ballpark. Go, he says. I don't know what he said right there, though. Show it to you again. All right, looking a little bit like Julio Franco from the left side with that big wrap, and then boom, just got in on him. Just a smidgen in on him.
Now Spezio.
Fulmer's got muscles in his cheekbones.
And a beach ball made its way out into the right center field playing area. Holding up play momentarily. They just drop it over there. Radke going to work. 1-1. Jam shot number down to third. Koski's got it. Inning over. Man, is Radke dealing here tonight. One base runner through 5. Still no score. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Those signs undoubtedly directed at Doug Mankiewicz. Stevie brought up earlier his comments after the game here last night, asked about the crowd. He said it's like a library here at Edison International Field compared to the Metrodome. I don't know if I'd go along with that.
They have been very loud and out in force in their red October shirts.
A.J. Pierzynski bounced into a fielder's choice, was thrown out trying to steal second base back in the 3rd inning. Looked like it was a missed sign by someone, either Pierzynski or the batter at the time, Luis Rivas. A.J. thrown out by 15 feet. Down and in. 1-1. Vote now using PCS Vision from Sprint or logging on to foxsports.com. If you had the loot, which team would you rather buy, the Angels or the Twins?
Or a really big boat. Come on. There are other options if you have that kind of cake.
Yes, there are.
Every owner that owns a team complains that he's losing money anyway, which we know isn't true.
1-2 on Pierzynski. Bouncing ball right side. Kennedy throws out A.J. Fox NFL Sunday returns tomorrow. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. You'll hear from Brett Favre. Plus JB talks with the new man in Washington, head coach Steve Spurrier and quarterback Patrick Ramsey, to discuss why Ramsey is a new starter in D.C. Fox NFL Sunday tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Hang in there. You'll be the new starter in D.C. next week. Going through some quarterbacks.
There's very little I know, but I know for sure that ain't going to happen. And out of play. 0-1 to Luis Rivas. John Lackey, just 23 years old. Angels minor league pitcher of the year in 2000. Won 15 games that year at 2 levels. He has made 87 minor league starts. A 41-24 record. So this guy's been winning at all levels. Grounded to second. Kennedy. Speaking of Kennedy, no relation. Let's go back to the Fox Network Center. Here's Kevin.
Hey, thanks, Tom. You can't get inside on Barry Bonds with that 89 fastball. Forget about it. Splashdown. Tied the game in the 5th at 4-4. But Eli Marrero in the lineup for power. He hit 18 this year. Hit a big one right here that won the game. Championship action starts tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern on Fox. The AL is up first.
Good ball game today at Pacific Bell Park, and a good one here tonight in Anaheim. No score in the 6th inning, 2 down, and it's strike 1 to Jock Jones. We're talking about Lackey. In a day and age where so many young pitchers are rushed to the major leagues, to get 41 wins under your belt in 87 starts. This guy also learned how to pitch down there. They brought him up in June, won 9 games, had an ERA barely over 3.5. Ranked 4th among all American League rookies in both categories.
bounced that one a little bit too short, but he is bouncing the curveball up there, keeping it down in the zone, and when he does, it's unhittable. And it's a big 12-6 breaker. Not that one. Snap that one off a little bit early. Watch the rotation. Straight over the top.
Radke and Lackey locked up in a good one tonight. Gone swinging John Jones. One hit in his last 22 postseason at bats. 10 in a row set down by Lackey. Still no score. The Anaheim faithful getting revved up as the home team bats in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It'll be Molina, Kennedy, and then the top of the order in Eckstein in a scoreless game. 2 hits for Minnesota, 1 single by the Angels against Radke until now. So Molina got drilled in the shoulder with a foul ball an inning and a half ago. His next time up laces one into center field.
Maybe it was a wake-up call. Fastball outside part of the plate. Molina goes right back up the middle with it. Not a bad pitch by Radke. Nice little piece of hitting by Molina. Minkiewicz going in to tell Radke, look, Molina isn't going anywhere. Don't worry about throwing over. I'm not going to hold him on all that diligently over here.
Well, you got to believe Kennedy's up there to bunt. Put down 5 sacrifices during the season. Leadoff man aboard, scoreless game, last of the 6th inning. You saw Kennedy take a peek down there at Corey Koski. No sign of a bunt, 0-1 high. It'll be interesting to see how Radke, I mean, he's been around a long time, but it's only the 4th batter all night he's had to pitch out of the stretch.
Kennedy may be trying to do what David Eckstein does when he's up at the plate in reverse. When you look at the left side of the plate with just 1 strike or less, Koski's playing in. Guzman way up the middle. A lot of room right in here just to spank a ball right through there.
And a number of the infielders on both teams did not like that new A that they have cut out of the infield. The design of the infield and the ball comes in snake-like fashion out. Perfect bunt by Kennedy. And he'll advance the runner Molina on to second base. Anaheim trying to manufacture a run that would be the first and only run so far in this game.
Boy, if Brad Radke does not get off the mound like an athlete, this is a base hit because Minkiewicz is in nowhere's land right there. He doesn't know, should he come and get the ball or go to the bag. If Radke doesn't get over there, Kennedy beats that play to first base. Whoa, the rally monkey making an early appearance.
Must be new ground rules for the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Now Eckstein. He singled into right field his last at bat as one of the 2 Anaheim hits. First runner for either team to reach second base in the game tonight. Strike 1 from Radke.
Keep in mind, Eckstein does not have a lot of power. The outfielders were playing a little bit more shallow for him, and Benji Molina does not have great speed. Excellent opportunity defensively for a play at the plate, even with a base hit into the outfield.
Line caught by Rivas. They double up the runner at second base to end the inning. Poor base running by Molina. And that's what the doctor ordered for Brad Radke. A double play ends the inning. We go to the 7th, no score. Go to MLB.com to bid on special autographed and game-used items currently up for auction to benefit the September 11th Disaster Relief Fund. MLB.com. Tom Brenneman, Steve Lyons, our entire Fox crew. Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. No score. John Lackey goes to work on Christian Guzman, who shows bunt, tries to slap it the other way and fouls it off 0-1. Corey Hunter and the Twins have been shut out on 2 hits. Likewise for the Angels against Brad Radke.
We saw Guzman get a hit like that in the Metrodome, just kind of a swinging bunt. Now Mike Scioscia thinks Guzman was out of the batter's box when he took that hack. Watch Guzman take a couple steps up. He fakes the bunt, then a little slug bunt, trying to hit it right past Troy Glaus. Where is he in the box? Mike Scioscia thinks he stepped up there a little too far and strides out of the box. I don't think he does. There's the line that would constitute both boxes. Scioscia just wants a little FaceTime there. So come out, argue about something.
One and one to Guzman. Heart of the order for Minnesota. Will be followed by Koski and Ortiz.
Here's the mistake that ended the inning. Molina going the wrong way on the ball that's hit on a line to Rivas. Everyone's taught freeze on a line drive. He was caught going towards third base, and it ended up being a double play. Rivas, quick little hands. Nice, he's a little shovel pass over there to Guzman, and let's all sit down. Watching the line drive is being hit right now, and he takes 3 steps the wrong way, and he knows he's in trouble.
One and two to Guzman. Stabbed at it and missed it on a strike 2 pitch. Go figure that. Boy, your team's scuffling for hits, scuffling for runs, and trying to bunt a 2-strike pitch.
It's not a bad play if it works, but if you're going to do that, you got to get a better pitch than that to bunt. You got to get a fastball. You can't get one of John Lackey's nasty breaking balls that he's been throwing. This breaking ball that we've seen out of Lackey, much better than advertised. They told us he kind of had a little slurve. This thing's filthy tonight.
Fastball strike 1 to Corey Koski, 0 for 2. 3 of 13 in the series. And what an effort tonight by Lackey. Rookie right-hander. Just 23 years old. Born, raised, still lives in Abilene, Texas. And Radke matching him pitch for pitch here tonight.
Know what it's like to face that breaking ball from Lackey. Stand at one end of your dining table, have someone roll a baseball across that dining table from the opposite end, and watch it drop off the end of it. Look at the downward action on that pitch. Where the expression dropping off a table comes from.
Blown away, 2-2 to Koski. Lackey made 18 starts during the regular season. He pitched into the 6th inning or later in 13 of the 18. Allowed more than 4 earned runs. Only once. Strike 3 called to Koski. 3 straight strikeouts, 7 overall in the game for John Lackey.
This is just a little cut fastball on the inside part. Watch Molina reach over and get it. Koski's having a tough time finding a pitch to hit.
Well, in a row set down by the Anaheim right-hander. And now it'll be David Ortiz, who has struck out twice. Fastball, strike 1. Our magical matchups here on Fox continue tomorrow. Exciting NFL action in Game 5 of this series at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Then Game 4 of the NLCS. Base hit into right center field. First Minnesota base hit since a one-out single by Rivas in the third inning. Now Torrey Hunter.
One of the things that you had brought up with Radke is the same situation from Lackey. They take one of the beach balls off of the field. Lackey now having to go from the stretch, something he hasn't had to do much at all in this game, and face a dangerous hitter in Torrey Hunter.
Hunter's popped to first, grounded out to second. First pitch swinging, fouls it off, 0-1 to Torrey Hunter. Only one inning in the game as Minnesota had a base runner until this seventh inning. That was back in the third. He had a leadoff single by Moore. A fielder's choice out. Pierzynski thrown out. And then a two-out single by Rivas. Two hits in the same inning until the single by Ortiz a moment ago. In the hole, Eckstein fires to second. If you like pitching, tonight is your kind of night. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer, and by Old Navy's Painter Pants, the Handyman's Classic. No score we had for the bottom half of the seventh inning, Game 4 of this American League Championship Series. We figured Brad Radke would step up for Minnesota. He's been their ace for the last 7 years, Steve. But John Lackey, making only his 19th major league start, his first ever postseason start, lights out as well.
And in both of these pitching staffs, you're looking at guys that are young and workhorse type pitchers that are going to be around these organizations for a number of years to come. And I think a lot of people thought that these were surprise teams in the ALCS. They will not be surprise teams in the years to come.
John Lackey.
Nasty breaking ball to Ortiz. Jones fastball, just abusing Corey Koski for the second night in a row, and then Radke. Classic delivery. Got Erstad early. Fulmer.
Take a look at our game summary brought to you by Nissan. The pitchers, the story tonight. 7 innings. 3 hits allowed by Radke, by Lackey. And now Radke goes to the mound in the bottom half of the seventh inning, having allowed just 2 hits on 57 pitches.
And Radke has just a classic delivery. Flawless in the way that he delivers his pitches. Only has one outstanding pitch, and that's his changeup. Works the fastball away from people, cuts it in every once in a while, throw a breaking ball up there. Command of the strike zone is what he has going for him, and that tremendous changeup. Bet Gray Davis doesn't like that too much. They are starting to rock here in Anaheim. I'll tell you what, they love the Rally Monkey because they play so many close games here.
Angels played 53 one-run games this season. Minnesota played 45. Both teams very good records in those one-run games. Anaheim 9 over, Minnesota 13 games over 500. Erstad, Salmon, and Anderson coming up. Strike 1 to Darren Erstad. 4 of 15 in the series, 0 for 2 tonight. Neither pitcher has walked a batter tonight. active pitchers, the only pitcher that issues fewer walks per 9 innings than Brad Radke, his teammate Rick Reed.
Reed always around the strike zone. That's why Gardenhire told us these guys are so similar. That's why he doesn't like to go back-to-back with them. Puts Eric Milton in between. Reed will be your Game 5 starter for the Twins.
Little number in his short right center. It'll fall to him.
All right, Tommy, isn't it amazing in a game like this when you see the starters being so dominating, it usually is a little bleeder off the end of your bat that gets something going for somebody because you can't get the good part of your bat on it. Erstad just out in front, kept his hands back pretty good, just a little bleeder off the end of his bat that finds a hole.
Now Tim Salmon, the longest tenured Anaheim Angel. The Phoenix, Arizona native, a third-round draft choice out of Grand Canyon University in 1989. Looks at ball one low. Salmon, the American League's Rookie of the Year in '93, has battled through so many tough seasons. Not only were the Angels losing games, but a number of injuries. But the only Angel with 530 home run seasons. Still in search of his first hit of this league championship series. Pitch up, took a hack, fouled it back. Erstad stole 23 bases during the regular season, only thrown out 3 times.
Erstad looking for a change-up count. Good pitch to run on. Radke likes to throw the change-up down, even in the dirt.
2-1. How about this count right here? A lot of managers like putting something on with a 2-1 count.
You don't really think about hitting and running with a guy like Salmon. Not a bad time to steal. Let Salmon swing the bat if he wants to. Erstad can steal the base on his own. Salmon likes the pitch. Let it rip.
Runner not going. 3-1.
I don't think Salmon's going to see a fastball here.
Runner goes. Pitch taken, a strike. Throw to second. Gets into center field. And Erstad on his feet, advancing to third.
Brzezinski had a tough time with this pitch because Salmon was out in front of him. It's not interference unless Brzezinski makes contact. Bounced it. Rivas waves at it. That's a ball where Rivas is going to come off the bag, get in front of it, and knock it down. You're not going to get Erstad even if you do make the catch. Erstad up and running to third. Aggressive hustle.
Erstad, a single to begin the inning, steals second. A throwing error by Pierzynski sends him to third. Infield in with nobody out. 3-2 to Salmon. Check this swing. It's ball 4.
Radke went 3-1 and threw back-to-back changeups to Salmon. Wasn't going to give him a fastball to launch in that situation.
That is the first walk issued by either pitcher in the game tonight. And look, the rally monkey making an appearance here in the 7th as Johan Santana cranks it up in the bullpen.
You love that guy.
I do. I love him. The fans love him, and that's all that matters. Now Garrett Anderson, 0 for 2, twice is grounded to the shortstop. But Minnesota playing the infield in. Popped up and playable. Radke over at third, a huge out for Radke. One away in the inning. Now a decision for Ron Gardenhire with one away in the inning. Do you back up the middle infield and play a double play depth, hoping for that double play ball? Or are you so concerned about your struggling offense, do you keep them in for a play in the plate?
Absolutely back them up. You put your middle infielders in double play depth back there where they are. Push them back a little bit. Keep your corner infielders at about the bag. If there's a hard hit ball to Corey Koski, he'll go for 2. If the ball's hit to his right, he's got to come home with it. Same thing with Minkiewicz. This is the best defense in the American League. You got to let them play defense.
Loss bounced into 12 double plays during the regular season. Ball 1 low. Last night in the 8th inning, Gloss a hero, breaking a 1-1 tie with a home run to right center field.
That was no double play ball. That was a bomb.
Runners on the corners, 1 away, and the 1-0 coming. Line into left field, and Anaheim leads 1-0.
And the rally monkey is going crazy. Gloss just fighting it off. Look at the head down, the concentration. We talked about it before. You think Sosa cares that he hit that ball in the left field?
Saw Mike Sosa pointing out to second base. He is sent in a runner for Tim Salmon. Alex Ochoa will pitch run for Salmon at second base and will stay in the game to play right field. Now Fulmer, 2 on, 1 in, 1 out. Anaheim breaks through against Radke here in the 7th inning. A leadoff single by Erstad, who stole second, went to third on the throwing error. In the dirt, what a block by Pierzynski.
We saw him do it all last night. We've seen him do it all this series. Textbook blocking by A.J. Pierzynski behind the dish. They're all over Radke in this inning. He has about had it, I think. I don't think he's going to throw anything above the knees to Fulmer unless it's a mistake. More change-ups and pitches away from him.
Which is what that was. The change-up. I mean, it's not like they're hitting the ball hard off Radke. You brought it up earlier. In a game like this, a series like this, that little flair can determine a win or a loss. Erstad got that flare into right center field to begin the inning. Ross's ball wasn't centered on the bat.
Didn't hammer it, but got enough of it. A full-grown rally monkey.
2-1 to Fulmer.
And he's jumping around.
2-1 to Fulmer. Fouled away, 2-2.
There's her old buddy. That rally monkey still hanging on for the ride.
Struck him out on a changeup. Good work by Radke. His fourth strikeout in the night. 2 away in the inning.
Well, we've said all night long that his best pitch, the outstanding pitch that Radke has, is the changeup. There's one. We also said that Fulmer wouldn't see anything but. There's another one. And another one. A fastball just to tease him out of the strike zone. A changeup again. Watch the opposite rotation of the spin on the ball. And Radke saying, go ahead and hack at it because you can't hit it.
Ochoa, the runner at second. Loss at first. And now Spezio, the batter, 0 for 2 in the game. 1-0 Anaheim. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball in. Two of the first 3 games in this series decided by a run. And 1 run the difference here in game 4 so far tonight. Down the right field line. It will drop. Fair ball. Ochoa scores on a bloop double to right by Spezio.
Spezio doesn't hit the ball hard. This is the second time in the series that he's dumped a little double down that right field line to kill the Twins. That ball was just a jam shot. Ron Gardenhire's got to be pulling his hair out. He sticks with his veteran, Radke. He's got Santana down in the pin that could have come and switched Spezio over. But remember, Spezio, the switch hitter, hits much better against left-handers. He thought this was his best opportunity, and he gets burned. But not because Spezio pounded one. Rather be lucky than good sometimes.
Well, you're right about Ron Gardenhire, though. He's got to be wondering, what in the world did I do to deserve this? A bloop single by Erstad, a throwing error on a stolen base attempt, got him to third. A jam shot floater into left by Gloss to knock in a run. Radke gets a big strikeout, and then the bloop double.
And the life-size rally monkey getting it done.
Only Spezio's 3rd career hit in 21 at-bats against Radke. And now Molina, who singled into center field an inning ago. Runners at second and third. And Molina hit with a pitch. That's the same arm he took the foul ball off of. And that's going to do it for Brad Radke. Johan Santana will come on to replace Radke, who was terrific here tonight. But he'll lead trailing 2-0 in the 7th. We'll be back. Bases loaded, 2 runs home here in the Anaheim 7th inning. Johan Santana coming in.
If you make noise, he will come. It is the rally monkey. Spezio with the bloop double down the line. Little rally monkey can barely see what's going on until someone comes and picks him up and says, hey, here's what's happening. Beating his chest. And then drills Molina right in the shoulder. I just don't think you hit Molina in that situation on purpose, but Radke probably figures I'm real close to being out of this game. I might go out with a bang.
1-0. 2-0 to Kennedy.
Just too big a ball game, and the score is not nearly out of hand. to be hitting guys on purpose, and especially Benji Molina.
Rick Anderson on the horn again. Loss, Spezio, Molina aboard with 2 away. One hopper down to Minkevich, and the inning is over, but not before. A lot of monkey business in the Anaheim 7th, leading 2-0. Angels lead 2-0 as we head for the top half of the 8th inning. And on the pitch, the hard-throwing 20-year-old Venezuelan, already 3-0 in the postseason, Francisco Rodriguez. First pitch at 95, outside corner, strike 1. Alex Ochoa came on the run for Tim Salmon and stays in the game in right field. Rodriguez has become one of the most remarkable stories in the playoffs. That one popped up. Short right center. Erstad dives, and he doesn't get it, and into second base is Minkevich. So there's a blooper we were talking about that goes the other way in Minnesota's favor, and it looks like Erstad's shoulder could be hurt.
Erstad got a little bit of a bad break, and now he's coming hard, and as he dives for this ball, he actually pounds it into the ground like a divot. His back runs right across the ball, and they have to pick up the plug. Erstad just barely doesn't get it. Look at the ball just hammered into the ground there. Ochoa had to pry it out of the dirt, throw it into second base. We talked to a lot of these Twins hitters today, and they said if we can just get one break off of this kid, we think we might be able to figure it out. He's been walking into every game like he owns the place. We need to do just a little bit of damage, and we think we can turn some things around on it.
It's not as though Rodriguez is invincible. He did allow, you may remember, during the division series, his first appearance, a couple of runs against the Yankees. He has been unscored upon and nearly unhittable ever since. Swing and a miss by Dustin Moore.
Moore tried to tie it right up with that swing. Look at his record, the 3 wins, all of them in the postseason. The only pitcher ever to do that. Lots of strikeouts.
1-1 on Dustin Moore. Probably in and about out of play. Minnesota in this series with runners in scoring position, 3 hits and 14 at-bats. And the Anaheim bullpen has been unscored upon so far during this series.
One of the things that makes him so tough is when he gets ahead in the count. Here he has so many weapons. Got gas for a fastball and a filthy breaking ball. Yeah, and now he's doing some talking out there saying, you're not taking the steam away from me. Fastball down in the zone to Moore. Moore tries to tie it up with one hack right there. Fouls another fastball off, and this slider broke a mile.
Rodriguez, the first pitcher to win, as Steve brought up earlier, his first 3 games of his career in the postseason, and his 14 strikeouts, the most by a reliever in a single season postseason history.
And he ain't done.
Now Pierzynski. Hard hit ball, but right at Kennedy. Advancing on the third, Minkevich. Bobby Kilty will come on to pinch hit for Luis Rivas.
That's doing some serious shutting down of the other ball club when your bullpen comes in. This is an inning too where a little bit of the inexperience comes into play as far as the Twins are concerned when you get Minkevich on second base. Dustin Moore goes down swinging without advancing the runner. We're still talking about a couple of innings left to play. It's a 2-0 ball game. It's not the 5-0 ball game. They had to find a way, and although they still can in this inning score Minkiewicz from third, they had to score him from third in this inning. Get him over to third before there was 2 outs, and they have not done that.
Kilty can hit. Taken down low for ball 1.
Kilty struck out when Troy Percival came in to face him early in this series on a changeup after a darn good at bat.
Bobby had 12 home runs in 112 games this season. 289 at bat. So this guy has some pop in that bat.
And this swing right here is where you're going to ask him to use it.
Troy Percival will begin to get loose now in the Anaheim bullpen. 2-0 to count on Kilty. And he took a strike, a fastball right down the middle. 2-0.
2-0 pitch. You might want the guy to try to jump the yard. Fastball, thigh high, in the wheelhouse to a left-handed hitter.
Runner at third. 3-1 now to Kilty. Jock Jones waits in the on-deck circle. And even though Jones has struggled in this series, he hit 27 home runs during the regular year.
Just off the outside corner, we'll see if Kilty baited him in to throw him another fastball, or what kind of confidence Rodriguez has in his breaking ball on 3-1 count.
Came with gas and Kilty tardy. 95 on the 3-1 fastball. So now the crowd will rise as one, willing Rodriguez to end the Minnesota threat. The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Rocky Mountain Cold, Coors Light, cold down easy. And by Gillette Mach3 Turbo for the closest shave with less irritation, even against the grain.
Tommy, remember when we played wiffle ball in the backyard where the one side of the ball was solid, the other side had the holes on it so that you could throw a pitch like that? You're only supposed to be able to throw a pitch like that in wiffle ball.
What an unbelievable story Francisco Rodriguez has been for Anaheim. We open the bottom of the 8th inning. Angels leading 2-0. 20 years old. Pitched in the minor leagues at AA, then AAA. They brought him up in September. He pitched in a total of 5 games. 5 major league games during the season. At one point struck out 8 batters in a row, the only Angel ever to do that, Nolan Ryan. 3-0 in the playoffs so far.
3 weeks ago he was in the minor leagues.
Brad Radke allowed 2 runs in his 6 2/3 inning. Santana came on to get the final out with the bases loaded. 2-1 to David Eckstein. And John Lackey, the story tonight for the Anaheim Angels. Eckstein almost got hit with that pitch.
Got hit 27 times during the regular season, was hoping to get another one. You see him thinking about getting out of the way, but really trying to turn into that ball. Turn back and away from it, bring that elbow across the plate and let it bounce off of it and go take first base.
Eckstein pops it up. Minkiewicz at home, Minkiewicz to catch. One away. If you include 4 years for Eckstein in the minor leagues, he has been hit 133 times with pitches in the last 6 years. Just stick your nose in there, whatever it takes. That's David Eckstein.
His nickname is the Pest, and because of that, it's exactly what he is. 30 of those times he got hit just because of that. I don't like this guy anymore. He's been killing us. I'm going to drill him.
Bud Black kind enough to wear a microphone for us during the entire postseason and again here tonight. We will listen in to the Anaheim pitching coach after Rodriguez struck out Kilty in the 8th inning a moment ago. Erstad started the 2-run 7th with a little flare into right center field. He stole second. An errant throw into center field brought him to third. 2 batters later, Gloss knocked in the first run. 2 batters later, Spezio, a bloop double just fair down the line. The only 2 runs of the night. And in the left center field this time for Erstad. Here's Bud Black and our Fox sounds of the game.
Let's go. Hey, you ready for tomorrow? Yeah. How's your arm feel? Great. Good. Way to get out of there. Nice going. Good work. Got away. Nice pitch, Hudson. Nice breaking ball on 3-2. All right, good. Nice strike. Person's going to pick you up.
That's the understatement of the world right there. Nice breaking ball. That was an unhittable breaking ball. 3-2. Are you going to be ready for tomorrow, he said.
Now Alex Ochoa batting for the first time. Takes outside ball 1. It is true. You got to let it all hang out. It's a postseason, and the old adage about how you can rest in November. But I mean, let's face it, the Angels realize they have something very special in Rodriguez, and Bud Black wants to make sure. This guy's gone now 3 games in a row. Are you okay? How does the arm feel? And that ball thrown by Minkavich. Erstad on his second base, and he'll stop right there.
He tried the quick step-off move. Watch him just quickly step off and fire it over. Good throw would have been close to Erstad. Now, once it gets away, all Erstad is doing is diving into the bag and looking to his left to see if the ball gets through there. Watch Erstad's head. Finds the ball and then says, I am off to the races. Erstad's got to find a hat that fits.
Ron Gardenhire out to make a pitching change. He'll bring on LaTroy Hawkins from the pen. We'll be back. October's magical matchups continue tomorrow on Fox. The NFL beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Then Terry Glenn returns to New England. The Packers taking on the Patriots, or the Panthers and the Cowboys. Some will see Atlanta and the Giants or other regional action, all part of a full weekend. The NFL baseball playoff action taking center stage here on Fox. LaTroy Hawkins on to face Alex Ochoa. And it's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Hawkins comes on with a 1-0 count in the at-bat.
Postseason numbers for Hawkins. Gardenhire likes to use him to come in and get a strikeout.
Ground ball to short. Guzman will play to first. Erstad advancing on to third. 2 away in the inning. Garrett Anderson 0 for 3. And now Ron Gardenhire going to get through another pitcher here. Some critical of Gardenhire last night, burning through 4 pitchers in 1 inning. And and left in Romero to face Gloss, who homered off of him leading off the 8th. Romero coming on.
Dennis Quaid taking in the Angel ball game. The rookie played Jim Morris, who had a minor league career, blew out his arm, taught school for a bunch of years, and then made a comeback, got all the way back to the big leagues with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays for a few seasons.
Runner at third, Anaheim in front 2-0, bottom of the 8th inning. And now on to pitch, J.C. Romero. And he'll face Garrett Anderson. Romero, of course, allowed the home run to Gloss last night. Ryan Anderson only hit .211 against Romero this season. Lefties at .216. But if there is one left-handed batter in the major leagues, it wears out left-handed pitching. It's a man who's batting right now.
He doesn't care which hand you throw it with.
Ball 1 low and away. Anderson asked after the game last night, can you recall a lefty who has given you trouble? You see outstanding numbers this year, 284, 11 of his 29 home runs. He said, you mean besides Randy Johnson? Then he said, Jimmy Key. He said, I don't want to face Johnson, but I'd like to face Key now. Well, you would too, because Jimmy Key's 41 years old.
I still couldn't hit him. Faced Jimmy Key when he was a very young player. He said, hey, I'd like to crack at him with what I know now. There's an angel with some wings.
2-0. Nasty pitch there by Romero.
This is what he's known for. A nasty sinking fastball down and into lefties. Tough to get your bat on that one, and if you do, you just foul it right off your toes.
2-1, 2 away. And a base hit into right field. 3-0 Anaheim as Anderson delivers again.
That is clutch.
That's all for Romero. Mike Jackson will come on to face Gloss. 3-0 Anaheim, 3 outs away from a Game 4 win.
Tommy, that's Ruthie and Frank Blair, the first ever Angels season ticket holders. They saw the very first game here in 1961, and that's when the Angels used to play at the old L.A. Wrigley. I don't believe that story. I just think they were a couple of lovebirds sitting on a park bench, and they built this stadium around them.
Gloss, first pitch swinging off Mike Jackson, belts a base hit into left field. Anderson on to second. Anaheim leading 3-0 here in the 8th inning.
Tommy, as you mentioned earlier, Gardenhire took a lot of criticism for using 4 pitchers in 1 inning yesterday. Some might have thought that tonight he'd leave Hawkins in the game, walk Anderson, and let Hawkins face Gloss. That way you don't burn as many pitchers. You do put more guys on base, because you have a power pitcher against Troy Gloss. I think Gardenhire's thinking is, you're already down 2-0 at the time. You don't put any more guys on base that can hurt you.
Well, now with Jackson allowing the base hit to Gloss, Troy's first in 5 at-bats against Mike Jackson. He has a left-handed batting Brad Fulmer to deal with now. Fulmer 0 for 2 in his career against Jackson. Lined into right center field. Anderson scores. Gloss racing home. Throw to the plate. Slide. Shoot.
We said Fulmer was a dead red fastball hitter. That ball didn't get far enough away. Jackson was trying to sink it to the outside of the plate. This ball hangs out over the middle, and that is in Fulmer's wheelhouse. He'll hit it all day long. Gloss, you can see him in your picture with an excellent jump. With 2 outs, you're running at the crack of the bat, and he's going to come all the way around from first base. Moore does a nice job of getting the ball back in, but look at Gloss on his horse as soon as this ball's hit. Gloss getting his secondary lead and then off to the races. He knows right now he's got an excellent opportunity to score. Pop-up slide at the dish.
An intentional walk will be issued to Spezio. A 0-0 game until the 7th inning. Loss and RBI single, scoring Erstad, making it 1-0. Spezio a bloop double to make it 2-0. And the Angels are up for 3 so far here in the 8th inning against 4 Minnesota pitchers.
And this Angel crowd trying to compete with the noise that they've heard so much about in the Metrodome.
Benji Molina, first pitch swinging, drives it to deep left center field. Hunter on the way, off the wall. 2 more will score. Molina on the second base. He's coming to third, and he won't get there.
What an effort by Torrey Hunter. Another pitch right down the middle. Molina all over it. This guy's going to get a triple out of this. He's running in slow motion to first. Torrey Hunter hits the wall very hard. He is going full tilt right there trying to make that catch.
Triple by Molina. A 5-run Angel explosion in the 8th. We'll be back. You mentioned a marvelous effort on that ball to left center field. It turned into a triple for Molina by Torrey Hunter. 3rd career triple for Benji Molina, his first since the 2000 season.
I can understand why. They say the triple's the most exciting play in baseball, but not when it takes you 14 seconds to get there. You can time it with a speed dial.
Bobby Wells now on a pitch.
Listen to Hunter hit the wall. When he slides, he doesn't even actually slide on the dirt. He just falls over and then gets back up. I love that guy, Molina. He's a gamer.
Hey, ever since he took that foul ball off the shoulder.
And then got hit by Radke.
Well, he singled first, got hit in the shoulder, now a triple.
It was a wake-up call. When this was the Big A, that outfield wall used to be the nicest wall in the game to run into because it was so soft. It isn't that way anymore. Had an earthquake here and the A fell down. Then they had to play. They started just calling this place the Big. Now it's Ederson International. I'm not sure why the International's there. Never seen the Tokyo Giants play here before.
Strike 3 called, and that'll end the inning. 9-man bat, 5 Angels score. We go to the 9th, 7-0 Anaheim. Top of the 9th inning, Anaheim leading 7-0. If you're just joining us, this was a 0-0 game after 6 1/2. And now on the pitch, Ben Weber.
Weber coming in to shut it down. They had Percival all ready to go when it was a save situation.
Line right at Eckstein. Join us tomorrow following exciting NFL action. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, Game 5 of this series. Then 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Cardinals winners today will try and even that set with the Giants. All part of a full weekend of magical matchups, critical NFL games, dramatic baseball playoff action right here on Fox. Strike one to Guzman. The coordinating producer, Major League Baseball on Fox, is Michael Weissman. The producer of our game tonight, Jeff Gowen. Our director, Jim Lynch. Our replay producer, Carol Langley McDermott. The associate director, Larry Lancaster. Our broadcast associates are Kevin Dresser and David Duvall. Thanks to our technical producer, Craig Marlowe. Coordinating producer of the pregame show, Scott Ackerson. That one on the ground. Pregame show produced by Gary Lang, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports, Bill Brown. The executive producers at Fox Sports are Ed Thorne and David Hill. Minnesota down, but not out.
They are not out. Joe Mays will get the ball tomorrow. Brilliant Game 1 performance by Mays.
Went 8 innings, allowed 1 unearned run. And a liner softly hit into right center. It'll fall in a base hit for Koski. Try to stretch it into 2. And he will beat the throw from Darren Erstad. So Koski getting his 4th hit of the series. Good look at a Game 5 matchup. You mentioned Mays. That ERA a little deceptive because he had 1 poor game during the division series, but lights out Game 1 of this series. Apier threw the ball well in Game 1.
Yes, he did. Neither pitcher, as we've seen throughout this entire series, really deserved to get a loss.
How about the effort tonight by the 23-year-old right-hander John Lackey? Lost in all of this offensive explosion. The fact that Lackey for 7 innings allowed 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts.
This pitching staff is one of the more exciting pitching staffs you're ever going to see. Lackey with a great job. Rodriguez comes in and dazzles. Weber is a lot of fun to watch. And then Troy Percival. Throughout his career in the Angel uniform, couldn't wait to get a situation like this. Sat in crowds where they used to call him Troy, your purse is full. Stupid nicknames like that. And he says, you know what? I've been waiting for this chance.
Percival, the last Angel reliever to give up a run, and that was in the 9th inning of that blowout Game 4 clincher last Saturday against the Yankees. This Anaheim staff has allowed 6 runs in this series. Still 1-2 to Ortiz. The Anaheim Angels have never been to a World Series. Their last trip to the American League Championship Series, 86. A heartbreaking loss in that series to Boston. They're now away from being a win away from going to this year's World Series. And a base hit into right field by Ortiz. They're going to wave around Koski. Throw by Ochoa to the plate. He is not in time. And Minnesota on the board here in the 9th inning on an RBI by Ortiz. His first run batted in of the series. Ochoa with a gun out there in right field.
Fundamentally sound here too, Tommy. He doesn't really care if this run scores. It was 7-0 when it happens. So his main concern is to make sure he hits the cutoff man so Ortiz can't go to second. Perfect throw, one hopper, just a smidgen too late. Look at Benji blocking the plate.
Strike one to Torrey Hunter. One and one to Hunter. Hunter 0 for 3 tonight. 3 of 13 in the series. And like Ortiz until a moment ago, Hunter without a run batted in during the ALCS. 1 and 2.
Ruthie and Frank Blair enjoying the scene. Frank got a chance to throw out the first pitch on the 35th anniversary of the Angels. He threw a spitter. You know why? He's a dentist. Go get him, Frank.
1 and 2 to Hunter. They've gone from being lovebirds, as you described a little while ago, to rally monkeys below these 41 years.
I like their hats. Not sure if I like that hat.
Anaheim wins it to take a 3-1 lead in this best of 7. But you mentioned Mays terrific in game 1. He'll get the ball here tomorrow.
I don't know if you could ask him to duplicate game 1's performance, but this is a guy that the Anaheim Angels definitely have to worry about. They did not get any good swings against him in game 1. They said he was terrific.
A 0-0 game thanks to John Lackey's 7 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball. Anaheim came to bat, got 2 runs off Radke in the 7th, 5 against 5 relievers in the 8th. In round 2, a 7-1 win. For more information on tonight's game, go to foxsports.com. For Steve Lyons and our entire crew, I'm Tom Brenneman saying so long from Anaheim. Jeannie Zalasko and Kevin Kennedy will be along from the Fox Network Center after these messages.